Yeah, so we are continuing. We have seen that all assets are on debit side and all liabilities and incomes on credit side. Then, you have to make a list of all incomes and expenses, meaning that you'll actually come to this very trial balance of yours. You'll have to come to this very trial balance of yours and identify incomes and list them down. Identify incomes and list them down, because we have said that incomes will be traced in this side. Incomes will be on the credit side. Then in the credit side of the trial balance, we find their incomes and liabilities, but in the debit side, it's where you find all assets and expenses. So now, when it comes to the point of identifying expenses, you'll have to come in this trial balance and you pick expenses, because transport is an expense, blah blah blah. So after making a list of all the expenses and all incomes of yours, then you'll be at liberty to prepare what you call a financial performance income and expenditure account, because this is this organization is a non-profit making entity, and therefore the accounts prepared by non-profit making entities, especially when it comes to financial reports, then we call them income and expenditure account. Then balance sheet is the same. Then after making a list of all your all expenses and all expenses and incomes, you also have to go further an extra mile and identify the current assets and fixed assets. Current assets and fixed assets. Then after identifying current assets and fixed assets, then you also go ahead and identify your liabilities, because all these items are in the trial balance. Leave alone the fact that some of the items in the trial balance will be having some adjustments. When I talk of adjustments, you find an item in the trial balance having an adjustment. It means in the additional information you can trace it there. You can find it there. Like, for example, we can say that replacement cost of office supplies here. When you say office supplies, now the question is office supplies here. Now, do we have office supplies in this trial balance of ours? We have to go and look for office supplies. Are they there? You see, inventory of office supplies, 1,200,000. Okay. In other words, this trial balance is in what? Is in thousands. Is in thousands. It is in thousands. Even here, it is in thousands. So that is it. That's what we should know. Now, given all that background, now members, what should be step number one? Now we have read through the question, we have identified, we have seen all these items in the additional information. So where to start from? That is the question. How can we start? Where should we start from? Ladies and gentlemen, the trial balance was prepared and balanced. So all these items we have here in the additional information, these items of the additional information are the ones that can actually bring issues. So that now we must actually make adjustments in the trial balance. So now all these items in the additional information will affect the trial balance, will affect the statement of financial performance, will affect the statement of financial position. So now we have to be extra careful. Members, you must actually first deal with additional information. The principle, the technical bit of these numbers, of such numbers that have trial balance requiring to prepare financial performance, financial position, you must be extra careful when it comes to additional information. So number one, we must deal with additional information. Let us actually deal with additional information first. We pick each item per item. We said you must actually, if you are not conversant or if you don't know how to use ledger accounts, please, oh my God, the double entry system is employed here. So, but let us actually see. We can simplify it. We shall one by one, bit by bit, and get there. Don't get worried. So now, how can we deal with this item number 1? How can we deal with this item number 1? Okay, of water bill. So now they are saying invoice bill of this of 6 million from National Water for 2019 was discovered after the trial balance date. So meaning that this item was omitted in the trial balance. We don't have a water bill anywhere. In this very trial balance of ours, there is no item called the water bill or utilities. So meaning that we have to recognize this in our books of accounts. So now, given such a statement, how can you enter it? You open a ledger account for it. You have to open a ledger account for water. This is a water bill, not so. You open a ledger account. Let us actually go and see if you can open a ledger account for this item. Then we go ahead. So now here, I can come and say this is my water bill account. Water bill account. We know water bills or utilities, these are expenses. They are expenses. But much as they are expenses, it was due. If you can actually come back here, it was what? These water bills were what? Were due. Invoice bill of that, of 6 million from National Water was discovered after the trial balance date. Not even due, but it was just discovered. Okay? If it is an invoice bill, then it means, yeah, true. If it is an invoice bill, you know National Water can give you a bill and you sit with it. So this was discovered later. So it means National Water was actually demanding. So how can you handle this? How can you handle this? So we have to actually come and see. We recognize here, this is 2019, okay? Then the date we don't know the date, but we have to recognize this one, a water bill. We open a water bill account and say because it was a water bill, it was a due. So here we shall actually say accrue, because something outstanding, something due, something when something is not yet paid, then it means it is due. Okay, so we shall say accrued. Accrued expenses, or accrued what? Accrued water. Accrued water bill. Accrued water. We debit our water bill account with accrued water. We put there our 6 million. Okay. Put there our 6 million. Then, meaning that since we have entered it for the first time, since we have entered it, or we are entering it for the first time, then we shall actually open another account called, I will actually copy this one, this account, then I bring it here. I create another account called accrued water bill account, but this time I will not be having this figure here. It will actually be here now.